and have to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You'll never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts, just beware of a thorn.
Hello YouTube. Well, I'm going to answer some more questions that people have asked me, not just from Quora, but just in, just talking to them, like around here in the town I'm in. But if you like this content, prison content, subscribe if you're new here, share, and make a comment. I'd like to hear from you guys, and I always answer comments. Try to. I might be a little late getting to them, but I'll answer them. Okay, let's go. What was the worst thing you saw in prison or heard of happening? Well, at the walls there were several things I saw that was bad. I can't really say any of them was the worst. There was one of the first things I saw was coming back from chow. I come onto a flag that I lived on. Flag means bottom walk. At least at MSP it did. And there was a guy who tied two sheets together, tied one at the top rail of the top walk, tied the other end around his neck, and jumped. And I saw it right after he jumped, and people were, telling me it just doesn't concern you, keep on going. Excuse me. Some were calling him names, just like said he had it coming. But then I heard of a guy that got put on death row. I knew the guy, but he took a stinger, which is immersion heater, put it in your cup to heat up water or whatever, your bowl, and he stuck it in his celly's anus, and those were 500-watt stingers, and they blow up after, if there's no water or anything, and I guess it killed his celly. Maybe he'd done more to him than just that, but he got put on death row for that. There was stories of people putting kerosene or gas and mixed with oil into light bulbs, and we had these light bulbs where you had to pull the cord to turn the light on. So they'd screw it in, but not all the way. The guy would come in his cell, try to turn on his light, and went, come on, screw in the light bulb, boom. I never actually saw that happen, but I heard about it from the old timers, Did you ever stick up for the weak in prison? I wouldn't say stuck up for them, because the way I was taught in the prison system was that you had somebody's back. Like if somebody new came in, and he had to fight his own fights, but if he was getting jumped and you was there, you should help him out. You shouldn't let him get jumped, especially if it's by other races. That's just the way it was. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't fight their fights. I wouldn't stick up for them, really. Maybe if the person was disabled, I never had this happen, but if somebody was disabled and somebody was picking on them, I would say something, But that would, and I never stood up for chomos, child molesters, or other, certain people I didn't stick up for, snitches. Has a guard or guards ever beat you? No. One threatened to do it one time. He said, "I'm going to take you to 5C," and that's all he had to say. Is because everybody at the table that heard him say that to me knew what that meant. They're going to cuff me, hands and feet, throw phone books across me, and then beat me with their nightsticks and big mag lights. That's when they still had the billy clubs, nightsticks, whatever you call them, and these big long flashlights. Now they got real little flashlights and no nightsticks or billy clubs. I had a lieutenant challenged me to a fight, but I think he challenged everybody, guards included. It's just the way he was. He thought I'd cussed him out. Now, I wasn't even talking to him. And I'll be honest with you, he said, came into my cell and he says, took his badge off. Said, let's get this over with. He said, you don't write me up, I don't write you up. I'm not sure if I believed that, but I asked him what it was about, and he told me, and I said, I wasn't even talking to you, dude. Then he says, are you scared of me? I said, no. He says, do you think you can whoop me? I said, I don't know. I heard you're pretty good with your hands. He said, well, the next time you cuss me, don't just cuss me. Jump. Just get it over with. And he leaves. Have you ever assaulted a guard? No, I haven't. Been a couple I wanted to, though. Came close a couple times, but I didn't. And one of them that I was going to beat his ass, or try to. You never know if you can beat somebody's ass or not. Others told me not to. They talked me out of it, but I was heated. I was mad. I get this question all the time. How often does rape happen in prison? If you mean like forcible rape where somebody's holding you down and raping you, that doesn't happen very often. Let me see if I can count times that I know of for sure. I'm not saying it hasn't happened more, but these are the ones I know about. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 that I actually know of. There's probably more, but it's not like it's an everyday thing. It's not like in the movies, Now, there are those that come to prison afraid to fight or whatever, and they choose up with somebody. They let somebody take care of them, protect them for sexual favors. That's or they get intimidated into this. That's kind of like I guess you could call that rape, but it's more like, I don't know. It's strange to me. He made that decision. He could have fought, but some people, we have to realize, and I'm including this, some people are just weak-minded, and they get to prison and they freeze up. They're afraid. Not everybody is gonna fight, So I guess you could call it rape, because they're giving up sexual favors out of fear. I was scared when I went to prison, but I fought because I was more scared of the alternative. You know, I'm just being honest. You know, it's the alternative scared me more. And this other question says, I'm facing 15 years in prison. I'm weak and skinny. Will I be somebody's prison girl? Punk. Look, it doesn't matter what size you are when you go to prison. When I went to prison, there was huge guys. I mean, that's back when we still had free weights. These guys were huge. And these old heads always told me, everybody bleeds, you know. Fight the dude. You know, he bleeds just like you do. I've always said that most of it is your mentality. You know, it's your mindset. If you're going to make it or not. You can be the biggest person in the prison when you get there and still be weak-minded and get taken advantage of. You can be the smallest. And just also, that's another thing, just because you're the smallest doesn't mean you're going to lose a fight. I've seen big guys get whooped by smaller guys. There was this guy named Squirrel. He was a little guy, you know. I don't know how he got the name Squirrel. Maybe it was because he's fast and little. I don't know, but he was a knockout artist. And I know when he first came to prison, it was probably more fighting to defend himself. But it got to where people were paying him to knock people out. And Squirrel was one of those type of persons. He would knock his best friend out and tell him it wasn't nothing personal. You know, he just wanted to get some money. So I was kind of kept an eye on him. You know, he never did knock me out or anything, but I always watched him when I was around him. You know, and to be honest, I probably couldn't have whooped him. He was good with his hands too, but I mean, usually one punch and he was knocking people out. You know, and, you know, pick up something, hit him upside the head, and put a stop to that. That's the way I was. If I think I can't whoop you, I'm picking something up. Unless it was just me and a partner or something having, you know, because sometimes friends fight in prison, you know, and if it's just me and a friend fighting in prison or something, I ain't gonna pick up anything, and most likely he isn't either. You know, it's just a fight, a disagreement, you know. But just because you're little and go to prison doesn't mean you're gonna be somebody's prison girl, you know, punk, boy, kid, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's not if you can fight; it's if you will fight. Just remember that. It's not if you can fight; it's if you will. Because I'm only average, you know. I'm if that, but people knew that I would fight. You know, they also knew that if I thought they could whoop me, I'm gonna grab something. This is the way I am. Well, that's about all the questions. I might tell you a story, a little intervention story. When I never thought I'd see this happen in prison, but I was in Farmington, and I had a real good friend. I knew him from the walls. Got down there, and at Farmington we could buy Sudafeds off the canteen. Well, he and I get to doing these Sudafeds. I blame him for me getting hooked on them. But that's neither here or there. I got hooked on him. He gets transferred to Bowling Green, and I get ridiculously hooked on these things, you know, and other pills as well. And I'm having people buy Sudafeds at the canteen for me because you're only allowed to buy one. So I'd buy one, and then have others buy them for me, and then I'd pick up what they needed at the canteen. And so this went on for a while, and I lost a lot of weight. You know, I got real skinny, and finally a bunch of these guys, I went to them one day and I said, hey, pick me up a box of Sudafeds, and I'll get you what you want. And the first guy I went up to said, no, not doing it. I said, why? He goes, you need to get off this stuff. I was a little aggravated. I went to the next guy. He tells me the same thing. I finally go to somebody that I never messed with, as far as Sudafeds go. But I had gotten some painkillers from him. I said, hey, pick me up some Sudafeds, and I'll pick up whatever you need. And he looks at me a minute and he says, I can't do it. So why? He goes, these your friends told me not to do it. They said you would probably ask. And right now, even though I can tell you're angry, I'm a little more worried about them. So anyway, I went ahead and bought me my little box of Sudafeds. Didn't last a day, and eventually I got off of them. I mean, I was cussing these. I wanted to, and I almost did fight one of them. And but I got off these Sudafeds, and got clear, and I'm glad I did. So I went to these guys. I said, hey, guys, come here. Let me get you all together. And I thanked them for doing that. But I said, I was mad, and they said, we know you were. I said, but I really appreciate you guys doing that. And they said, hey, we're just looking out for you, you're just getting too far out there for us. And I said, man, I said, the thing that really gets me is I never thought an intervention thing would, or whatever you want to call it, would be pulled in prison. That you would. I said, you'd think that in prison, it's the last place you'd see something like that take place, and they just kind of laughed, And they said, well, we had to do something, man. He said, you's going. He said, you's getting real skinny, losing all your weight, and looking haggard. So we had to do something. So that's a little something about me and about some guys helping me get off of that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.